Hey tankers, and welcome back to World of Tanks with PR154, and today we are following UbumPong of the Kiwi clan in the Tier 9 German self-propelled gun Granatenwerfer Tiger. Now, of the Tier 9 self-propelled guns, Granatenwerfer Tiger packs the biggest caliber, 210mm caliber. That's a bit higher than the next best, which is around 203mm. But for that additional caliber, unfortunately it doesn't hit any harder with the standard high explosive shells. It still tops out at 900 hit points. Has a rather slow rate of fire for that as well, about 40 seconds to reload a shell. And that gives it a damage per minute, one of the lower damage per minutes actually amongst the Tier 9 self-propelled guns, at about 1340 hit points per minute firing high explosive. It's a bit less accurate, has slightly better gun handling, but yeah, a bit less accurate in terms of landing the shot. But in spite of that, we're going to do our best to try to zero in on this Kunzipan's. A bit of a blind shot there, but looks like they've hit it. There wasn't any indication of a blast or a crater, which, with that not being rendered, is always indicative of a penetrating hit. So that's a great start with our first shot. Of course, we don't have that many shots here with the Granatenwerfer Tiger. They've only got 15 shells on board. Although with a 40-second reload, that still allows continuous firing for a period of about 10 minutes. Going for another shot on the Kunzipanzer. Unfortunately, the better aimed shot unfortunately yields a little bit less, but I guess that is the nature of using artillery pieces where you just have much wider dispersion. 0.74 meters per 100 meters is what you get, and when we look at the map rings here, I mean that outermost ring, the yellow ring, is 440 meters. So we're engaging targets out to about 600 meters. But these are the sorts of shots we want to be going for. However, we've got enemy tanks all bunched up. We've got one of the better burst radius available for a high explosive shell with Granatenwerfer Tiger, and that's the sort of result that we want. Land a shell in amongst a group of enemies, get them all stunned, and then start collecting stun assist damage. I collected just from that shot earlier about 400 hit points in stun assist, plus the damage that was inflicted in splash on both the Super Conqueror and the Emil 2. So we can see the friendlies have been able to start chipping away at the enemy heavies as they sort of exist in a bit of a brawl in the forest here in Miravanka. Super Conqueror here looking like a prime candidate for a shell here. It's got 29 hit points left in the tank. Whether that's appropriate use of this shell, there's probably something UbumPong is rationalising with. Unfortunately, he can't see that target at the moment. Just waiting for the Super Conqueror or the Emil 2 to pop up again, but it's the VZ-51 that's presenting the sustained target. So we'll send a shell in its direction and land a very nice 310-ish hit points against that vehicle. Seeing that shell land, of course, the Super Conqueror has made its move. Just it was probably aware that artillery might have been targeting them. Of course, with a hull-down vehicle, it's not enough just to roll behind the hill, because artillery can still reach you. And that's exactly what UbumPong is trying to do here, trying to prioritise that Super Conqueror, knock that Tier 10 gun out of the game, and that he does. So next target of opportunity, lowest hit points there is Emil 2. You can see the enemy's got a T110E3 providing overwatch, so that's going to make it difficult for UbumPong's team to make a breakout out of this F9 area, but at the very least, what they can do is work to clear out some of the heavy tanks that are bracketing them in, and providing that proximity spotting data to the T110E3. shot falling a little bit short of the E100. Of course, that's always difficult when you've got about 3 seconds of flight time that you've got to account for. You're watching a vehicle sort of rocking forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. We can see here we've got the timing. We know how long the shell's going to fly, but just rationalising that with what an enemy's going to do, and then hoping like hell it doesn't change that pattern within that 3 seconds of flight time. It's always a bit of a gamble with every shot as to at least whether you're going to hit and cause damage. Of course, other classes of vehicle are going to treat that gamble a bit differently. For light tanks or medium tanks, is am I going to be spotted if I take this shot? But we're not here to talk about that today. For a change, we're here to talk about self-propelled guns. Now, they have been able to identify an Object 263 on the one line, but I can see UbumPong's feeling limited opportunities for continuous spot, and will therefore continue to focus on the forest here in Murubunga. We've got the TNH VZ51 that's looking a little bit sick in terms of the hit points. It is crawling back, but unfortunately that shell does fall a bit short. I mean, again, consider the maths of it. Is engaging targets 700-ish meters away probably. You've got 0.74 meters per 100 meters dispersion on those shells, so you multiply that out by 7, and you've got quite a sizable aim circle that you've got to deal with. Yet, sort of all within the mechanics of the game. E100 looking very sad here with only 240 of its hit points remaining, but fortunately for them, enough to survive this shot from UbumPong. So with the continuous firing or pretty much continuous firing since this game started, we're down to just 5 shells left, 3 of the high explosive and 2 of the AP. A lot of self-propelled gun drivers, they will take a handful of AP shells just for some of those confrontations that might happen in the late game where they're looking for a decent whack of damage and a high confidence of penetration, because they never know what it is that's going to come around the corner. But finally they're able to shut down that TNH VZ51, and that's going to give the friendlies a bit more breathing room in that corner. Of course, we still have the E100 that's in that corner. Again, probably a very sick hit point position. We know it's taken at least 1 hit from UbumPong subsequently as well. 45 hit points left in the tank, and the Waffenträger Panzer IV is able to see to their demise. So UbumPong's made a decision to change to the AP shells where they're facing down the T110E3. You get the better part of 300 millimeters of penetration, so 296 millimeters of penetration with the AP on Granatenwerfer Tiger. I guess assuming you can hit the target, which again we're probably fighting at ranges of about 800 meters here, so that's going to be quite a wide potential dispersion angle. But the T110E3 is not making an appearance, and looking at the friendly resources in that area, there's probably not a lot that's going to be likely to spot it in the short term, unless of course the T110E3 tries to push forward. Instead, we see the forward observer. Here is the Leopard 1 with 272 hit points remaining, having eaten a shell from possibly the Waffenträger Panzer IV, and UbumPong is able to clutch that with the AP shell. Possibly kept that loaded on the basis of not having the intuition skill on the crew member yet. With a fully trained intuition crew, he could probably change that shell out in about 10 seconds, but of course without that facility he's got to work with whatever he's got, or have to wait 40 seconds to change in another shell. But in this case it paid off, and he was able to shut down a tier 10 medium tank with a precision shot. Scores are roughly even, a slight advantage to UbumPong's team, both in terms of tanks. They're 1 tank up, and on hit points. Was UbumPong's ammo situation not looking that fantastic. He's just got 2 of the high explosive shells left and 1 of the armor piercing. Looking at the sort of vehicles that are likely to be spotted next, we still have that T110E3 lurking on the 0 line. There was a Leopard PTA that was playing in the mid. That's probably the enemy team's best chance to maintain some eyes in the game. There's an E50M that's working the C4 area, likely pulled back to some softer cover, and of course the Object 263. Which is in that obligatory tank destroyer position of B1. The enemy Granatenwerfer Tiger has been spotted, and UbumPong starts to zero in. Object 268 version 4 getting the killing shot, and the Sharp Future 4 also having a go. This has prompted some vehicles to be spotted. The Object 263 has had a go and has managed to shut down the Sharp Future 4. UbumPong has the AP shell loaded, and it looks like it's landed. Hopefully caused a bit of damage to the Object 263, and looks like it has. Only 93 hit points left to the Tier 9 Soviet assault tank destroyer, and the Leopard Prototype A is up to knock it out. This gives them now a 2-gun advantage. Still only a modest advantage of the hit points. We can see the E50M has not shifted from its last spotted position, and UbumPong starts to zero in. He's only got 2 of the high explosive shells loaded, so he really wants to make this one count, and that's a nice meaty hit there, 358 hit points, and of course the Leopard PTA follows up for a bit of extra assist damage from the tracking shot of the high explosive. This just leaves 3 enemy vehicles, and they're outnumbered 2-1. This is a proportional difference in the hit points as well. A lot of these tank destroyers are still in fairly good position, fairly good hit point position, but they are facing a crossfire. They've got the Grille 15 and Leopard Prototype A approaching from the A line. They've got the 60 TP and Object 263 approaching from the south. So there's no way they can sort of engage those targets and be spotted in doing so. Excellent use of last shell here by UbumPong, trying to knock out 2 enemy vehicles in one shot. And he's been able to collect a bit of assist damage. Well, been able to collect some stunning, at least anyway, with his last shell, and hitting for around 500, which he's got to be happy with that. Unfortunately, now out of shells and not really able to influence the battle. Looking at things, even if he decided to put pedal to the metal and start and sort of use the vehicle as a battering ram or try to cap out, it's very likely that this will be all over by the time he moves. But fortunately, we've got a bird's eye position of how the rest of the battle is unfolding. The T110E3 being knocked out, we've just got the Grille 15 left. They're being approached by the 60 TP in the front and the Leopard PTA in the back. And that is it. So a win with 2 minutes to spare for UbumPong's team. Let's go and take a look at the results. So very nicely done by UbumPong of the Kiwi clan in the Tier 9 German self-propelled gun, the Granatenwerfer Tiger. He picked up an Ace Mastery badge. Also this epic medal, the Confederate badge, which you get for hitting more enemy vehicles than any other player on the team. We've also picked up a couple of badges of merit here. Bruiser, quite a easy one to get with self-propelled guns, where you've got to damage enemy vehicle modules or injure crew members at least 5 times in the course of the battle. He's also picked up the Gauze medal for driving an SPG and causing damage exceeding 10 times the hit points of the vehicle. And have a look at this. He's done over 4,200 hit points of damage. And now we saw, just as the game was approaching its close, it appeared on all counts he'd done around 2,300 hit points of damage, but there were quite a lot of blind shots landed through the course of the battle. Consider the first one that was landed against the Kunzipanzer. That's just ripped through that guy. 990 hit points of damage inflicted. A slight high roll against the 900 hit points of damage on the 210mm shell, and so that was a full-blown penetration there. There was also some blind fire on the Object 263 with the AP round, actually, and that had rolled for 687 hit points as well. There are probably a few others here as well. There was a lazy 287 inflicted on the E100. So all in all, is just excellent shot placement fairly consistently throughout that battle, and really helping to influence the outcome in his team's favour. Speaking of the team, let's have a look at the scores there. And for all his efforts there, UbumPong has actually not come top on experience. That honour goes to Kuratata in the Leopard Prototype A, another bottom-tiered vehicle, but it's been able to pick up over 5,000 hit points of damage and inflict 4 kills on the enemy. So very well played to them as well. Special mention on the enemy team to the VZ51, also another bottom-tiered vehicle, just fighting for its absolute life against higher-tiered opponents, and being able to do so successfully is really going to propel you up that XP ladder at the end of the game. Having a look at the detailed report, this was quite a profitable game here for UbumPong. Now, granted, there were some personal reserves and going. There was also a sort of personal mission payout as well. So that's probably an extra 55,000 credits that are coming into the equation. So you knock that off the total of 80,000, and you've got 25,000 credit profit on a tier 9 game. So gotta be pretty happy with that. And I guess running SPGs has become a little bit more efficient since the rework. I know it's not popular for a lot of SPG players, but do recall that they've there are no more premium rounds available. They just have rounds that suit different purposes, which I think many of us across other classes of vehicle in World of Tanks will be pretty keen to see as well. Anyway, we won't dwell on that. Well done, UbumPong of the Kiwi clan. And if you've got a replay that you're happy with and you'd like to see shared with the community, then please reach out over Discord or any of the links below, and I'll do my best to sort you out. Please check out the About section of my YouTube channel, where I've got some of the community submission guidelines, just so you got an idea or a sense of what it is that we're looking for in videos. In the meantime, take care out there.